The meaning of life. I wish we could play Ja Rule, man. Previously on Kimba TV. $32 to $32 on Trump is good value, and so I longed the Trump coin. I'm just trying to see who's gonna win and who's not. So in 15 minutes, if we start to spend time below VWAP, well, you already know what that means. All right, so if you're unsure of what's going on, you need to have levels to the upside identified. You need to have levels to the downside identified. Too easy! It kind of blew my mind how many people were like, oh my God, Trump is dumping, why? I literally spent like you could hear me thinking about what to do. All right. Not only did we talk about 886, 618, 75. So we talked about this. Okay. We talked about that. I also told you guys, hey, that's probably going to get swept. And there was an anchor VWAP right there. So we already talked about it's going to sweep that. So hours before it even happened, we talked about this happening. I literally drew it like this. It's going to sweep those. So if you were anybody that was like, oh my God, it's dumping. One, the math is the math. All right. It goes like this, it goes like this, and this is where the pivot is. So that's math. But more importantly, I spent about 3-4 hours talking out loud with you guys. I was like, should I shave here? You know, what should I do? I know it's going to do this. You know, it's going to probably clean that. So it blows my mind that, I mean, you guys, we started the day off by me talking about make sure you're prepared. Make sure you're thinking worst case scenario. Imagine if you ended the day getting got again, unprepared with your pants down. Come on, got to do better. All right, it's all pretty straightforward. Is everybody good to go? If you wanted to long, this is a great place. It's a hidden bull div, right? Crazy hidden bull div. Basically, like today is kind of a make it or break it day. You have full rotation to the downside, but an incredibly large hidden bull div. So we're not here to predict the future, but if the bulls are going to try to go get 110, they probably have to do it today. All right. If you can't get above 105 when market opens, you're probably going to go to 100. The YouTube title for today is, are we going to go to 110 or 100K? It's that simple. Yeah, I mean, hopefully nobody got on this. It blew my mind that there were so many people that thought this was bearish. All right. So if you ever show up late to a stream, rewind and get caught up. All right. How long did we spend, chat? Talking about, should I shave here? How much should I close? You can hear me thinking about worst case scenario and preparation. All right. Kachaya! Come on! Come on! But I don't understand how you just not listen. All right. So we started the day off by saying, hey, don't get got, prepare. Think of worst case scenario. I hope nobody ended the day getting got. All right. And if you did get got on this, then it's it should be an eye opener for being better prepared. I said it in the morning, but if you get caught off guard, I don't think your preparation was that great.
You just said.
Wait, what's happening? But everything is already prepared and talked about. So again, if you ever show up late to a stream, make sure you rewind, make sure you go to the YouTube, make sure you pull up the live stream and get caught up, chat. There's nothing that isn't talked about ahead of time, literally. Zarya says, Kimba, look at Sol. What about it? It's juicing me up. What about it? You know what my TP is, right? Hey, Zarya, do you know what my TP is on Sol? Do you know what my entry is on Sol? It's pixel perfect. It's gotta be testnet. Let's go. Mr. Tropic says, what happened on that Coinbase candle? What are these called, chat? What do we call those? What do we call this, chat? Sometimes people will ask me, hey, why do you look at Coinbase spot? This is why. We call these wick of destiny. Okay, why is it called wick of destiny? Because when it wicks like that on Coinbase, it almost always comes back again. So when you saw, I don't know how many of you guys were awake or saw that, but look at this. Always comes back.
Latuche, motherfucker, the math is the math.
So there's a reason why we look at Binance on Trading Light, Binancio Magneto. There's a reason why we look at Bybit, BTC, USD on Exo. CVD divergences are the highest striking on Bybit. There's a reason why we look at Coinbase Spot when we're comparing it to S&P. Because Coinbase Spot has these things called wicks of destiny. So whenever you see a wick like that just on Coinbase next time, high probability. In fact, it's like 99%. The other 1%, it was a holiday, so it just took a little bit longer, but it's gonna get grabbed. All right, so yeah, that's called wick of destiny, but it always gonna get it. Y'all ready? How many of you guys were here yesterday in the morning when I spent like 3-4 hours going back and forth with you guys about where should I shave? What's my intolerance? 886 to golden pocket rotation. That's gonna get swept. Okay? So I'm not surprised when it does this. I'm laughing at motherfuckers that get stopped out or they end up shorting here. You know what I mean? Let's go! Yeah, so is it a good idea to long the retest of value area low? Do you have any other bullish edge, crypto clown? Or are you purely just randomly hoping that the bullish retest will work? What is the data that you're looking at that says, hey, there's a high chance that it's gonna hold? So that would be my sort of rhetorical question for you. All right, there's really no right or wrong. And what I would actually say to you is, if you were thinking about longing value area low, why didn't you just long the 7.5? You know, why didn't you just long the 7.5 when I told you that there's a huge hidden CVD bull div? So, you know, longing here and then getting fucked is exactly how people will be like, but I thought you were in a long. I got stopped out in profit. You got stopped out for a loss. So always be thinking ahead, okay? If you were thinking about longing this, I think the better one would have been to long this, okay? But if you wanted to be patient, then you need to wait for the 30-minute candle close to actually close inside of value, okay? Now, if you're somebody, again, that also wanted to long this, well, you might not get a bullish retest. So you need to have already been thinking about, should I just market smash here? So if you're asking, hey, should I long the bullish retest? You are 2-3 levels behind where you should be. Does that make sense? If you wanted to long here, you were already thinking about market smashing or down here. Waiting for the bullish retest, you are 3 levels behind, and you might not even get it. So there is no right or wrong. I just want you to be thinking that far in advance. Does that make sense? Yeah, so you might not get a bullish retest, but you know, if you were gonna think about longing the bullish retest, well, you should just market smash. You know, if you were going to market smash, I think it would have been better to long the 7.5. So it's kind of up to you on what you think is right and what your risk appetite is. Obviously, risk and reward is directly correlated. So the more risk you take, the more reward you get. The less risk you take, as in you're gonna wait for 30-minute candle closes and then wait for a bullish retest, well, then less risk, less reward, right? You might end up having to catch a long from the VWAP or something because it doesn't do a bullish retest. Yeah, so the most important thing that I can stress is be thinking ahead. Yeah, if you're thinking about opening a position by looking at what's happening and reacting, it's almost too late. So try to anticipate. Sliced Bread has learned a lot today. Unfortunately, I got in the process. That's okay. Let's talk about the next one. What about you, Sliced Bread? Do you have a preparation in case it goes to 110? Do you have preparation in case it goes to 97.5 or 98.5? What if it starts to pump and break off of the diagonal resistance? Are you gonna, or even like, are you waiting for a trident? Or are you prepared and have plans on if you need to post only market smash? You know, if it does start to pump or it does start to dump, what is the zone in which you would allow yourself to chase it until? Right? Like if it starts to and you think, oh fuck, well, are you smart enough to say, okay, after here, I'm not gonna chase it. So if I'm gonna chase it, I better fucking do it all in between here, right? If it does this, you know, what, okay, I didn't short 7.5 with that being the stop loss like Kimba was talking about, but, you know, I'm gonna give myself all of this. You know, that's it. If it, you know, beyond 102, 102.2, I missed it, I'm not gonna chase. Okay, do you have something like this? So you can see that if it does something like, you've got this light right there. Have you already seen this or is this the first time? All right. Prepared. We gooch? So I'm just gonna have it give me the easy thing and I'll take it. You heard? Let me know if you have any questions, my boy. Chab Superstar says Gucci fruit. Sliced Bread says I have a plan to get in a long, but I won't chase a short because of the bull div. Awesome. Yeah. I mean, I can't, whether you're right or wrong, like that's logical and that's all I care about. That makes sense. So, yeah, you might just be the type to wait for like a 98.5 or a 97.5 long, right? There might be still a hidden bull div down there. You know, that's what's crazy about that thing, right? And imagine if you get like really nice confluencing data again. All right, so it's Macaulay Culkin right now. If derivatives dump, it's gonna have a gap. If it pumps, it'll have a gap. All right, you guys wanna, well, I was gonna say, do you wanna bet on which way it'll go? But I think the candle, the predictions thing's already tied up, right? All righty. You guys okay? Let's get nasty on them, boy. Let's get nasty on them, boy. Let me take a look at ETH real quick. Candlestick says, why do you always look at ETH BTC first? Because if ETH BTC is bullish, do you know what that means, Candlestick? If ETH BTC is bullish, that means that if Bitcoin is pumping, ETH is pumping harder. If Bitcoin is dumping, ETH is dumping less. Okay? If ETH BTC looks bearish, then that means that if Bitcoin pumps, ETH won't pump as much, which is kind of what you're seeing right now, isn't it? If Bitcoin dumps, ETH will dump harder. So it's just an easy way to know how and when you should allocate capital. So it doesn't mean necessarily that the ETH USDT pair is bullish or bearish. It's just in relation to one another. So whenever ETH BTC becomes bullish, then that's when we should allocate more capital to ETH than BIDI. All right, well, it's Macaulay Culkin right now. S&P is paused. CME is paused. 54 minutes until everything comes back online. Stay safe. A Candlestick, are you going to be here early tomorrow? Any last minute questions before I dip? You guys all Gucci? It's eventually going to run out of time. So in about 4.5 hours, it runs out of time and you should see some sort of reaction. Okay, level to level. Level to level, follow CME. CME gap in 54 minutes should be nice. All right, RTH. S&P is going to come back in a little bit. So this is going to be interesting. Yeah, candlestick. We've been watching ETH BTC for a really long time, and it's been hella bearish. Yeah, we just can't get above this line. So we've been watching this on stream since September of 2022. And, every time that gets above this orange line, we're in longs. But, man, come on. Fuck. Yeah, but it'll give us, thinking like 10,000 for ETH. So yeah, can you articulate to me why you would short and from where and where your stop loss would be? Generally, the questions that I get is like, hey Kimba, at this level, I see a hidden bearish divergence. I see a bunch of shorts got squeezed. And it's also a decline in open interest delta. Should I short here? My stop loss is right here. That kind of tells me, hey, you know what you're doing. When it's a question like that, I don't know. Yeah, so if you can logically explain why you want to short, where your stop loss is, and what your invalidations would be, then yes. Okay? You can always rewind and get caught up. So I don't know if you're just joining now or if you've been paying attention the whole day, but you've had a bunch of opportunities to short. Your RR is probably not the best here. Again, the plays that we've had has either been to wait for this, like this long already got stopped out, right? But if you want to short, you need the bearish retest of the 7.5. So it's kind of up to you. All right, Martis? Yeah, but it's also like Macaulay Culkin right now. So anything that happens right now, it's hard to trust it. All right. Smokey McFly says, what do you say to vector candles? Yeah, I think they're pretty much like FVG, vector candle. We call them single prints. Yeah, but I know Tony likes, Mr. Happy Days likes vector candles. Happy days. Copy Trading says, is it Wong to be in a Wong right now? No, sir. No, sir. I mean, the first thing that we would talk about is the trident. When does the trident become invalidated? So you go like this, and like this, and like this. So the trident only becomes invalidated if you lose the anchor point. Okay? So that's the first thing. This is one of those things where like, how well prepared were you type of shit. So, I mean, swing high, swing low, all the way to swing high. Let's go ahead and see where that lies. And let's just turn this one off for a second so we can kind of clean it up. So, I mean, you would already have been thinking about, okay, do we get any 30-minute candle closes below golden pocket? And you would have already had to have thinking about, do I get stopped out and re-enter? I mean, you don't want to get stopped out right at 75786. That would be the same exact thing as bottom shorting. Structurally, no, I mean, nothing has really changed. This is all fairly normal, in my opinion. It's pixel perfect normal, to be exact. So no, it's not wrong to be in a long. I could see motherfuckers from long there and swing high, swing low, turn the diagonal line off, extend. So just like how I could see people long from there, I could see people short from there. And you've got a short here, you've got a long here. Let's see who wins type of shit. Just, and you know, have an invalidation on higher high, have an invalidation on lower low. Whichever one gets stopped out first is the winner or loser. But you never want to try to predict the future. You just want to make sure that you don't do anything like fucked up, like, you know, long that. Like you're not supposed to, you know, long that. That's why like breakout traders get fucked a lot. You know, that's why we always say we don't get bullish on the penetration. We get bullish on the retest. We don't get bearish on the penetration. We get bearish on the retest. Yeah. Let's say had this nuked all the way through and it had bounced off of 86, I would be thinking about shorting that. So that's the difference between bouncing off of 7.5 and holding, losing bearish retest, lower low probability. Yes. So just let like what you know guide you, you know? And as long as you're prepared and you're thinking about worst case scenario, like just don't get got. It doesn't matter if you longed there or if you TP'd your short there. It doesn't matter if you TP'd your long there or entered a short there. As long as you didn't top long or bottom short, you're good. Because those trades, they don't make risk reward. They don't make sense from an RR standpoint. So even if you get lucky. So, but do you see it? Copy trading? So it's kind of up to you, but I tried to zoom out and like show you guys, like, don't get too caught up in like, you know, this has been going like this for quite some time, you know? This is like the moment where it decides if it goes or if it goes this way. So, you know, you don't want to get too aggressive like gambling here. You should have already been gambling here. So, all right. But yeah, just like let invalidation candle closes, you know, like, if this just goes, you know, look for that or look for that. Yeah. All right. But it's sooner or later, like it's going to have to make a decision. It can't keep bing bong ding donging forever. So. All right. And then whether it's this level or whether it's there or whether it's here, you know, like look for structure, look for open interest and try to like anticipate what it might do. Yeah. And then if you see it, then take it with no fear, trust, good risk management, invalidation, stuff like that. Yeah. Don't forget that you still have 42 minutes left, okay, until CME comes back. So whatever it's going to do, it sure would be a lot better to do it with CME. All right. And then if it gaps, remember, it means that it was so bearish or so bullish that it didn't even need CME's help. All right. So you've got to dip the tip play as well. All right. But I'm rooting for you, big dog. All right. Don't get too crazy here. There's always going to be an opportunity for a bearish retest. And like I was talking about throughout the day, I'm ready for this and I'm ready for this. Yeah. And then maybe even lower or maybe even higher. There is a lot of like higher time frame liquidity at 115, so I really would like to take that. You know, I would love a 115 to 72K short. Oh my God. But maybe everybody and their fucking grandma, including my dumb ass, my retail ass wants it, so we're not going to get it. So 70 would be like an amazing long, I feel like, you know, on Biddy. There are gaps and pivot points and both RTH and ETH gaps, you know, before 70, like 82, 85, 89, 92, etc. But yeah, so lots of things. So, but yeah, that being said, like if we really are going to go to 82 or 78 or 72, does it really matter if I start my short at 100 or 110? Not really. So yeah, let's get it. All right, I'm getting the stink eye from baby girl, so I got to wrap it up. You guys Gucci? Math is the math. Pixel. All right, y'all, let's wrap it up. Where are the outro songs at? Outro songs. I'll be here again pre-market. Do you guys like these pre-market starts? That way we can kind of get it. A lot of this is just continuation though, you know? Tomorrow will be different, most likely. Unless it does this, I'm going to either see you up here tomorrow or down here tomorrow. You know? I highly doubt it's going to do this all night. In fact, it's probably going to, or as soon as I leave, right? You know what it is. Ka-choy! He reaving!
Latuche, motherfucker, the
He
math is the
reaving,
math.
young soon. Activate the manipulation. Bulls, Bears, we're all Lions. I'm excited. Hey, I'm going to be here pre-market early as I can be. All right, let's see where we're at.
You strong?
All right? If it pumps,
we strong,
is there a short opportunity? If it has mega dumped, is there a long opportunity? Are you ready to juice up tomorrow, chat? Y'all ready? Hey, let's be patient. Let's take those easy things. All right? But when it's an easy setup, though, we got to jump in that bitch. Yeah! Exclamation Discord, exclamation YouTube. Sato, tell them what happens if they don't use stop loss. Young soon, he reaving. Hey, stay safe, Lions. Don't do nothing crazy without me. Don't do nothing crazy without me. Kevin's parents are coming back in 30 minutes. Stay safe, Lions. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Peace, everybody.